ready?
Mhm.
Alrighty, it's time to get our viewing glasses on. Ah, crap! Frick! Mm. Hey guys, it's Kanan,
Jesse.
and we are the Geeky Saiyan couple, and welcome to our RWBY Volume 7, Chapter 1 overview. This probably should have came out yesterday, probably, but Chapter 1's been out for the public for 2 days, so it's not too late. If you're watching this video and you've not seen the intro video, the reason why we don't have a volume 1, chapter 1, it gets confusing, trust me. Chapter 1 reaction is because we had some technical difficulties that day. It's my fault. My laptop charger that I needed to replace a while ago decided
Somebody told you to replace.
decided to die on us that day, and we were both too impatient to run out real fast, get a charger, come home, because come on, it was the premiere. The hiatus was a long one, so we just watched it, which kind of stinks because, as I said the other day, I couldn't sit down. I stood the whole entire video, and you can ask her. I usually don't fanboy over a lot of things. I think the only time I truly fanboyed was during Volume 6, like, we're protecting each other, them killing Adam, us seeing Summer truly for the first time, and then Penny in Chapter 1. So, but anyway, it's kind of an analysis, more of just an overview. We probably won't go too in-depth as some others do, but we are going to talk about our favorite moments, go into a little bit of a discussion on some parts. We are going to touch upon some aspects of this chapter that people found controversial. Because let's face it, you can't have a RWBY episode without controversy. But before we begin, thank you. It blows my mind that we've only got an intro video up on this channel, and we already have 15 subscribers, so thank you all.
Yes, thank you very much.
Very, very much. We also have our first Patreon. So before we start, just remember to leave a like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. This one, since Chapter 1's already out, is going to go straight up to YouTube. Chapter 2 will be put up on our Patreon first, and then it'll be released after Chapter 2 is out for everyone to see.
Our Chapter 2 reaction is already on Patreon as well.
Yes, so you can go ahead and do that if you become a Patreon. And all that will be in the description down below, along with our Twitter, our Facebook, our Etsy store, because like I said in the intro video, she does commissions, and she's open to doing any. She's got you got like a Christmas line or a winter line, correct?
Yeah, I have a winter line, and right now it's still before the deadlines for like the smaller, simpler stuff. As long as it's before a date, you can still order for Christmas gifts. So I'm completely open still.
We also have a Square store. We have a Facebook. All that's down below. So let's get into some slides for Chapter 1. All right. So I knew that this premiere was technically supposed to be the finale for Volume 6, but I was really shocked that we literally start off
exactly where we ended.
Like, we pretty much resaw the last few seconds of the Volume 6 finale in this episode with, the whole, welcome home thing. I will say, it seems like every single volume, it just keeps looking better. The lighting, the way everything looks, it's almost like you think they can't get more out of this engine, and they keep on doing it. So yeah, Another thing that I liked about this is it really sets up doom and gloom in a way, and the with the music for the Atlas Fleet and all that, it just reminds me of Star Wars. Like every time you would see the Death Star and hear the music for the Empire, that's just what it reminds me of. Also, I'm gonna go ahead and say it in case I forget it. Very good job, Jason, as the new voice for Crow. Like
Yes.
if I had no knowledge of the whole situation that we won't get into, I would not have realized it.
No, it's almost seem like it fits seamlessly in, and it's there's really no difference to me, and I think it's even better. Like I don't know, it just there's just something about the way he brought the character in his own perspective to life.
A lot of people's been joking that he sounds like a sober Crow. Okay, so they decide to get into Mantle they don't because Weiss states that if they show up in a stolen
Stolen.
ship, uh, security will not let them get anywhere near Ironwood, and they'll more than likely take her back to her father, which is not a good thing. So they decide to hide in Mantle until they know what's going on. And Weiss originally wants to get Winter's help because, let's face it, out of her whole family that we've seen so far, Winter is the only one who legit cares about Weiss at all, besides Klein. But Klein is not a Schnee. But it seems like Winter is also taking part in Ironwood's dictatorship in a way. So they decide to land, and they're walking through Mantle, and we see a couple of. One thing I definitely wanted to mention was no faunus allowed signs. There was a show your teeth graffiti, which, if you watch real closely, Blake does react to. Her ears go down. She looks at it. Kind of makes me feel sorry for Blake. If only she wasn't the only faunus in the group. But this little funny part, I think a lot of people love, and it's after Yang kicks the robot that took a picture of her, and many are wondering if she is still considered like dangerous because of what happened in Volume 3 with Mercury, or maybe it's that the robot didn't recognize her, and so it was following her and
I
took a
think it
picture
was
of
because
her.
they're not they wouldn't be recognized there since they've never been there. But that's just such a Yang thing. Like
Yeah, and the thing,
it took a picture of her, and she's just like,
on
nope.
impulse, she just kicked it, and I mean, she didn't mean for it to get hit by a truck. That was kind of a
Oops.
yeah. Now, I remember when this came out, Rooster Teeth officially released. This was one of the images that Rooster Teeth officially released after New York Comic Con, and I had already been told what happened in the first 12 minutes by a source that I won't name. But this is, of course, Yang being embarrassed. Um, the thing that I noticed, though, is that she's got this whole group of people, friends, family, staring at her for what she just did. The only one, though, that she has got any eye contact to is Blake.
Yeah.
And then we have this. Now, it's not shown in this screen, but Ruby just has this awesome look on her face like she's already over it. Because, it's her older sister being herself in a way. Like, yeah, we're trying to keep low, and you just did that. But once again, Yang having these soft eyes for Blake, and once again, Blake's the only one she's looking at out of this whole group of people. Blake's the only one, and Blake is smiling at her and playfully rolls her eyes. And this is not the first time we've seen this. Some people are making a parallel to Volume 1, Chapter 7, which was in the Emerald Forest part of that volume, where um, Yang asks her, hey, how about a cute little pony? And, Blake rolls her eyes and smiles and says, sure. So people were thinking Volume 7, Chapter 1, Chapter 1, Volume 7. I mean, now this is where I started getting a little excited because it looks like an election is going on um, for a seat on the council. And we didn't know her name at the time, but we'll get a little bit more into her in our Chapter 2 overview. But everybody saw an election, and everybody's already screaming, Atlas Ball, Atlas Ball. Because in real life, election candidates will sometimes hold parties and stuff like
They
that.
have gala events every
Yes.
time there's some huge election for something.
Yes, to get
Raise money, awareness.
Yeah. And as we see in this, they are running up against a business tycoon, which we all know who that's going to be. So it kind of makes sense that he would throw a party to make himself look good.
Yeah.
Now, this, of course, is finally some faunus discrimination. Now, a lot of people say it's kind of odd to hope for this, but that's one of the things that has been kind of absent in RWBY is we've heard about faunus discrimination, but we've still not really seen it on screen.
Yeah, it's always just implied. We haven't actually seen it exactly happen.
Yes, and we kind of had a feeling that going into the Atlas arc, we would finally see it. Now, of course, I don't want poor Blake to be the only one that gets it, because that's just, the girl's been through enough already.
Yeah.
Now, this gave some people more RWBY and Blake interaction, which people have been asking for years, because RWBY tries to stand up to this drunk, and Blake stops her, and like she said, we can't cause a scene, which is the smart thing. That is what they're trying to do. They're trying to keep a low profile. And Blake, being the most stealthy of them all, knows that more than anybody. But there's another problem here. A lot of people expected Yang to be the one to jump this guy.
There's more posters.
Yeah, more posters
We'll
for
go back to
Foster.
that.
Now, the drunk gets dumped into a dumpster by Weiss. Now, we've already had some people say, oh, why didn't Yang stand up for her if they're supposed to be a thing, stuff like that. Well, for one, in that last picture, if you pay attention to Yang's face during that whole entire thing, you can tell by the look on her face she's trying her best not to lose it. She wants to respect Blake's wishes because Yang's smarter than she used to be. She knows that if they cause a scene, they're going to be caught. And of all of them, who would definitely cause a scene if she lost her temper would be Yang.
Yeah, go back to the beginning, Beacon days. If that was her, she would have done something, and it would have exploded.
Yeah. Now, going back to Weiss being the one to do it, there's good things and there's bad things about this. One, it shows how far Weiss has grown since Volume 1. Because back in Volume 1, she kind of thought like everybody else in Atlas, that the Faunus were trouble, that the White Fang was trouble, and now here she is standing up against Faunus discrimination, but it can also be a bad thing because she just drew attention to them, and she's a Schnee. Out of all of them, she's going to be the one most easily recognized. And the only problem I have with this is that she went against what Blake wanted. That's the only problem I have with it. Other than that, these people saying, "Oh, the guy could have gotten hurt." Come on, guys. It's meant
drunk.
To, yeah, it's a racist drunk, and it's meant to be a funny scene. It's not supposed to cause some huge debate. Oh, you support assault and all that. I mean,
Yeah, no,
I'm sorry.
It was meant to be funny, especially because of the reaction of everybody, the whole group towards her. They're like, "Did she just do that?"
So now here we have, I think, everyone's favorite new character. Well, technically, does he really count as new since we saw the back of his head in Volume 3?
I mean, kinda newish. Like
Yeah.
we actually get to see a full face and everything to go with it.
Now I'm gonna go on a little bit of a rant here. There are already people whitewashing him and
I've seen
posting,
that, and
"Oh, I fixed it." You do not quote unquote fix somebody else's art, okay? This man was never light skinned, okay? Even in volume 3, he had a bit of color to him.
yeah,
And come on, people. Just quit taking this show so seriously that you can't even enjoy it. But anyway, everyone pretty much knew who this guy was before we ever heard his name. The moment he said Pietro, I don't
it
know.
started clicking.
Yeah, like to me, I was like, I don't know why, but it just screamed Geppetto to me because we all know Penny is based off of Pinocchio. Um, and as we see, he is in I guess you could call a leg chair, a foot chair, because it's not a wheelchair. And so a lot of people were happy with that because it showed a bit more um, disability, like representing disability in RWBY. So yes, he is the one that created or fixes um, Maria's eyes. He's also one of the greatest minds in Atlas. He just works in Mantle to help the people of Mantle, pretty much for fun, really. And there's this little. Everybody loves it. Everybody hopes that it transforms into a weapon.
That would be awesome. But something else I actually noticed while getting these screenshots is the cup on his desk says number one dad on it.
I don't think anyone's noticed
I
that.
just happened to, when I was going through screenshots, I had to go back and said, wait a minute, and looked a little closer at that cup. I said, that's even before he's mentioned about his daughter. So it was another little
And I
thing,
mean,
but I thought it was cute addition to add.
yeah, and of course everybody pointed out that yes, he is wearing Penny's bow.
The bow was another thing that stood out. I was like, that bow looks really familiar.
And her saying this, a lot of people have now started asking, were Maria and him a thing at one point? And I mean, it's cute.
It is.
Um,
And also with this picture, the background, the
yes,
whale.
yes, the whale. I mean
That was another huge flag that's just like, wait.
Yeah.
It started connecting the dots the further this went.
And even though we don't know yet, but that's pretty much a Monstro cameo.
Yeah.
What I loved about her, for one, Nora moments.
I love the between. No, Ren's just like her.
Yeah, Ren, like that's the great thing about Ren and Nora is that
he rolls his eyes a lot, but he just smiles.
I sometimes don't know how Ren doesn't have some gray hair. But you've always got to have a great Nora moment because Nora just makes this show sometimes. But one thing I loved about this part is Yang is really being the mature one and is asking the questions, trying to get info. And I just loved it because, for one, yes, Yang is my favorite character, but also it just shows a lot of amazing growth for her. Because she never used to really be that. I mean, she kind of, interrogated people, but she never asked with a cool mind in a lot of cases to get information. So
it has shown that she really has grown so much, and I mean, from the time losing her arm on, everything just started to change, and it seems that she just really started looking real, especially when she did. I mean, it wasn't the best, obviously, reaction or interactions between her, but even when she talked to Raven, both times and the last time, everything just started really clicking into place. So she's really come a long way.
I also like that so far in the trailer that we saw, the sneak peek and all that we saw before the volume started. It really does seem like that Yang is starting to be more of her old self. Like she's smiling a lot more. She's having fun again. So it's nice to see that as well. And of course, here's another reveal. Yes, he is the one that made Yang's arm, and I can't tell if he's upset that she painted it or just surprised.
I think I can't tell either, but I do know, like, just the way he said it, like, he didn't get angry looking in
But
the
he's
face,
almost.
but
It's
he
kind
was
of
just
like.
like, but it was also the realization of, like, okay, you painted it, and that it was now clicking in his mind. Okay, wait, this team,
Mhm.
everybody was falling in line. He recognized Weiss, and then he says, you painted it. Wait, okay, this is Team Ruby.
Yeah.
Like, how did I, not see this? But I
And
thought it was funny. She's just like, huh?
and Ruby has her little fangirl moment, like, you know us? Yeah, that's like Ruby seems to always get excited when people know who they are.
Yeah.
And like non such, she already did a doodle of this scene, and like it had Sean pointing to himself, like hoping that he would know who him, Ren, and Nora are. And just like in Ruby Chibi, he mistakes John for Sun. I just thought that was hilarious. Now, I don't know why, but ever since I saw this shot, I love Yang's pose. I don't know if it's just because I love the her fighting poses, because usually in like video games or something where you can pick a class, I always pick brawlers. But I don't know. So anyway, alarm goes off, and of course it's a Grim attack. Now this was the scene that everybody saw at RTX, and this was also the sneak peek that we got. It was pretty much the same exact thing, just
Not completely finished.
yeah, at RTX. Yeah, I love everybody's like. Out of all of them, John looks scared. Like John looks scared. Like he legit still looks scared in a way. Um, yeah, that's really all I've got to say about this one. Is um,
He looks scared though, but like once they start fighting, he just goes for it. Like,
yes.
but here in the past, if you want to go back to Beacon, he just okay.
Oh yeah, because I mean
What do I do now?
yeah, because I mean at one point he couldn't even really fight any Grim without losing it. So he definitely has grown. I'm kind of wondering. I have a theory about his haircut. I'll wait until the intro part. But Nora being mad about being left behind is just pretty funny, and I love what she does with Sean and launches herself off his shield.
I mean,
That's
come on,
just
she's queen of the castle, so I mean, she's got to make her big, huge entrance.
yeah, I know. Now this I've not seen too many people talk about it. I've seen a few talk about it. The fact that
I caught
Ruby.
this really quick, and it just, to me, it shows she's gotten so much stronger
Yeah, because I don't
because
think we've ever seen her split before like this. And I mean, there has been talk that semblances can evolve as you get stronger. Um, so I wonder if this is that. I mean, if we have seen it before, I don't remember seeing it. But then again, sometimes these fight scenes go by so fast you can't really tell.
the only difference I saw, which in the last volume, is when we saw the red and white twist together, which was her and Weiss.
And the
But
White Rose shippers went crazy.
yes, I liked that she was able to do that, but in the past she'd never been able to do that. She was just always her.
And I agree.
So she's gradually getting stronger, being able to do new abilities with the speed that she has.
And I agree with everybody. This whole thing with Ruby flying around and the camera doing like a full turn, best part of the whole episode because it was just an amazing shot. Now I remember hearing about this from RTX because everybody let it slip that there was a Bumblebee moment in in the premiere of Volume 7. Um, and this kind of goes back to um, we're protecting each other. And what I love is, for one, I kind of agree with some people that I'm kind of bothered that she was able to one shot a Grim with a single bullet. But I also get lost in the background because Mantle just really looks amazing. And besides like Vale, we've not seen like a true city in the show ever. Because I mean, let's face it, in Volume 5 we kind of got cheated out of Mistral. But Did you get the? Yes. I'm still getting used to seeing Blake smile so much genuinely.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. I just thought this was cute. Just the cute little smile she gives Yang and the little flirty she gives. And Yang does smile back, kind of. It,
But this moment also reflects back from the beginning, from when they were in Emerald Forest.
Yes, it does. It kind of is. It kind of is like a callback to that because, wow, I just thought of that. Really, it kind of is a callback to Volume 1 when they first became partners.
It's the first thing I thought of when I fully saw this scene. I was just thinking, wait a minute, only now instead of I could have got that,
Yeah.
or I had that, but now she just smiles at her.
Yeah.
It's it.
Now, before we get to what I'm guessing is because you got these screenshots, I'm guessing the next slide's the big reveal, right?
I think.
Well, in case it's not, I do want to point out that one thing that I was excited about for this volume was seeing Oscar take out a Grim completely by himself. I love to see that he is getting stronger because there are rumors that we might see his semblance this volume. Um, so yeah, I was happy that the little farm boy is finally getting some on-screen development. And here's the kicker. So there's a lot of people that are happy about this, including us. Then there are some people who are just all out upset. Here's the thing. I don't know about all of you watching, but I guess I'm just one of those people who moved on from Volume 3 a long time ago. Like, there are still people that Volume 3 still highly makes sad, makes depressed.
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of just moved on. Like,
Yeah, I mean, I knew, and especially after that moment with John seeing the statue of Pyrrha.
Volume 6.
I mean, it just, they just know that.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I about cried.
Yeah, I did cry when I realized that Pyrrha was gone when I first saw it a long time ago. And then when he saw the statue. But that moment when all three of them are standing there, and then when they finally walked away, it was just, they're gonna keep going, especially for her. Like, and now seeing, with Penny back, I mean, I've seen things that people have said, oh, well, now it makes that, makes it not as important, like, when she died, or not as big of a deal. Okay, well, I get that, but she's a robot, yes. So that was always possible that she could come back, but also, the way Penny is, she wouldn't hold anything against Pyrrha. It wasn't Pyrrha's fault.
Yeah,
I mean, Pyrrha didn't know that was going to happen. I mean, she didn't. She knew her semblance, but she didn't know that was going to, connect that way.
And here's another thing that people pointed out. In Volume 3, Penny was not in Cinder and Mercury and Emerald's plan.
No, they happened to stumble across that, and then they used that.
Yes.
So this is all their fault.
Yes. So, I mean, Penny's death was just a result of circumstance, really. It wasn't something that was planned out by the, Cinder and all them in those early volumes. But yeah, like, the fact that it's just the simple fact that she's a robot that I knew there was a chance that Penny could always come back.
It killed Pyrrha, though, because remember, she stood there for the longest time, regardless of what John was saying, and then the reason why she went after Cinder was because she knew she did that, besides what happened in the vault, but she knew that was their fault, so she went after him, but she lost her life in the process.
And before we go to any more slides about Penny and all that, because we've got another thing that we've got to cover, Penny being back does not make Volume 3 pointless.
No.
Okay?
Not at all.
Pyrrha is still dead. Beacon still fell and is still infested with Grim. Other people besides Pyrrha still died who are going to stay dead. Yang still lost her arm. And, I mean, it's just like, oh, now that volume doesn't matter.
No, it plays a key role in what's happening now. Like, it all is leading up to it. And it's never not going to be, it's never not going to matter. It's always going to matter. But this is just continuing on from that and just building up from it.
Plus, if I remember correctly, I saw someone mention that in the original story of Pinocchio, Pinocchio did die. But people didn't like that, so the author brought him back. So, even though Miles and Carrie don't put a whole lot of the fairy tale stories behind it, you still gotta kind of understand the original story to get where they're going with some of these characters. Which is why a lot of people still need to reread or rewatch Beauty and the Beast.
Yep, and that's going to be a completely another video. That is coming very soon.
And here's something else that people had a problem with, the fact that Penny remembers everybody. Now, I understand everybody wants drama, they want angst, but I have a feeling toward the end of this volume, maybe, or maybe not until volume 8, we're going to get a lot of that. We need some happiness and cheer here, and I just don't really get why they would have brought Penny back just for it to be sad. Now, if something happens to Penny again, that's a whole different story, but Penny's a really loved character. Like, I've seen people say that they started watching RWBY full time after her death because it just affected them that much. But it's very well explained how she remembers them.
Plus her personality. Like, she's not one that's gonna, like, that goes back to, she holds nothing against Shapira, obviously. I mean, I know it's not been said, but it's there.
Well, like, people want her to ask about Pyrrha
and I'm sure
stuff like that.
I'm sure that we'll get that, like, when they all talk and all that, but the fact that her personality, she's not just gonna turn around and hate somebody, or hold grudges, or be mad. That's just not Penny. I mean, come on, every time we saw her, regardless of the situation, she smiled, waved, she was happy. I mean,
it always seems like a lot of people in this fandom want these characters to be something they're not.
Yeah, I mean, that's a lot of fandoms, but yeah.
And so another thing, people, like, there was like 4 or 5 things people had a problem with in this episode, and it's like, oh my gosh, it's chapter 1. We still got a whole volume to go. Chill out. And it's how RWBY reacts. Now, for one, in this scene in particular, if you pay attention, Ruby's eyes do dilate seeing Penny. But you all have got to remember, this is still the same day as everything that went on in like the last few episodes of Volume 6. The mech fight, the Leviathan fight, the fight with Adam, all that, plus this fight with these Grimm, that's all happened in one single day. The girl's exhausted, probably. She's had... One thing that people have been saying about RWBY is that she bottles all of her emotions up and deals with it herself. She's the leader. That's something that leadership characters usually always do. They carry the burden. I'm sorry, but if someone I knew was dead just showed up in front of me, I'm not gonna... It's just... I'm gonna be in shock. I'm not gonna boo-hoo right away.
Yeah.
And people have got to remember, different people
Everybody reacts
different ways. Yes, and plus, they didn't really give RWBY enough time.
No, now, Penny didn't give her enough time.
No, Penny definitely didn't give her enough time.
Clearly.
I love that it says excited yelling, and RWBY doesn't sound excited at all. I love this because it's classic
Penny
and RWBY interaction. Her tackling RWBY. And I have to say, this episode kind of made me a nuts and bolts shipper, because...
That and a little groan after you hear her collide with RWBY.
Because it reminds me of the interactions they had in the earlier volumes, where Penny would literally tackle RWBY, and RWBY would groan.
And it made me happy. And then everyone else, was strangely wholesome.
Blake literally looks like a cat caught doing something that she's not supposed to. So we get the whole thing with Penny, and then these guys show up. If you guys have not seen it, please go watch Klaxon and Hunter's reaction to Chapter 1, because Hunter's reaction to, we didn't know his name at this point, but his name was Clover Ebby, I believe. His reaction to him was the most funniest thing I have ever heard in my life. Like, but these are the Aesops. Obviously, a special operative kind of thing. Also based off Aesop's fables, of course. Um, we don't know too much about a lot of them yet, even as of Chapter 2. We'll talk a little bit more about them in our Chapter 2 overview. Um, I don't trust them.
I don't trust all of them.
Yeah. Well, I take that back. I do like a couple of them. You probably know who. The others, I don't know. The intros got me thinking some stuff.
I'm not sure about the main, the leader. I can't get a read on the monk.
Yeah,
one.
That's what everyone's saying, that he looks like a monk.
Now the other three, I don't know. I mean, I don't have a bad feeling about them, especially the one who says, well, we'll go over that in the next one, but there's one of them that you really can't. He wouldn't be able to be mean or lie because you'd know.
Yeah, I have a feeling something's going to happen just because of something in the intro. I don't know why.
I'm wondering if it's maybe just one of them.
Yeah, either one of them or a couple of them or something's going are rogue. But I do have a feeling. I don't know. Like Chapter 2 made me feel, I guess, a little bit different about the story. But I do have a feeling that they're going to be a pain, especially if. Well, we're getting ahead of
or
ourselves.
At least even just one of them. Like, I don't know. I don't see them all. It just.
And so we end the episode with everybody getting arrested, which Crow stating this is what he was expecting when they arrived in Atlas. We don't have a clip for him, but the leader, Clover, it's funny, a lot of people have already noticed, that he has several good luck charms. He has a horseshoe, he has a rabbit's foot, and his symbol is a four-leaf clover.
Yeah.
And so everybody is wondering if his semblance is like a counteractive to Crow's semblance. And in turn, that is making people ship them, and it already has a ship name, and it's called Lucky Charms.
I've not heard that yet.
Yeah. But one thing I love about this, Jean looks like his life is over.
Yeah.
Nora is already trying to think of a way to break out. Ren's just being Ren. Ruby looks worried. Blake is, of course, checking on Yang, and you can't see in the still, but Yang is bouncing her leg like someone who's anxious or is having a little bit of anxiety does. I do it. I mostly do it because I'm impatient, but I do it when I get nervous.
Yeah.
You can't really read what Oscar's feeling. He's probably thinking I should have stayed on the farm. Weiss just looks annoyed. And Crow's probably used to this. He's probably been arrested a few times. And that's how the episode ends. Now we get to the intro. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and state, as far as the song goes, and as of this recording, we still do not have an official name. It's either going to be Trust Love, I think the other one was Open Your Eyes or something like that. Thomas, Unicorn of War, posted about it, and it's escaping me at the moment.
I love it, though.
I do like it, but I don't know if I like it as much as Rising. I really liked Rising just because it was that kind of rocking action opening, especially toward the end. But who knows? I don't dislike the song. I like it a lot. It's very anime. This whole intro is anime. Now, this scene right here, someone did some art because they said it reminded them of the old iPod commercials.
Oh, yes. I've seen that floating through Twitter.
And what I love about it is Blake had 4 earbuds in each ear, and it was just like, wow, Blake's being extra.
Aaron had commented on that too.
We're not, as of this recording, we're not at the new outfits yet.
It's killing me.
Yeah. like Yang's outfit really doesn't need explained because it just screams Yang. Um, all the theories are running around about Blake's haircut, which Aaron has kind of confirmed
Yeah.
a lot of stuff. If you did not watch Aaron's reaction to Chapter 1, you should definitely go see it. It's on YouTube now, I believe. But she did confirm that Blake's haircut is, in fact, a fresh start. Because a lot of people were worried that her hair was going to get chopped off because she's a faunus and all that. But no, apparently it is Blake who does cut her hair. Um, and she made the little connection. She said, she's just like Cora. And we all know how that ended. And Aaron once again confirmed, yes, Blake's hairstyle is, in fact, the bisexual haircut. But other than that, I'm really wondering why Weiss decides to braid her hair in this humongous braid that looks like that it could be just as dangerous as her weapon. But I'm really wanting to know. I really hope they explain why Ruby decides to style her hair.
Yeah. And for anybody who plans to cosplay this Weiss that has not yet, I feel sorry for you already. As somebody who works with wigs, who went to cosmetology, that is one heavy wig if you want to actually braid it to what it's supposed to be. I mean, my Sailor Moon wig is just as long, except it's not as heavy. That's one-sided of the head. So I'm sorry, but I couldn't do it.
You're also upset that you now have to buy a short wig for Blake.
Yes, because my hair is cut like Blake's. So now I have to buy a wig because she's cut it. It's not long and pretty anymore.
This is very anime as well. Like, I love that Arnold, Murder of Birds, took I think the people in the comments said it was a Sword Art Online theme, and it, like, matched perfectly with this. But this is a great little, it's pretty much them looking at Atlas, almost like, we're going to conquer this thing.
I'm in the process of also testing out to see if the Sailor Moon crystal theme actually fits to this, because it does for this very beginning sequence. So I want to see if the rest of it syncs up. And it seems, I think a lot of anime songs may. It's just because the style, the way it's done.
Thomas, if you ever watch this, you're the one that inspired that.
Yes.
Okay, I love this. This right here. Pretty much, yes, them going through each of their outfits. From volumes 1 through 3 to 4, 5, 6 to 7. I love this. I thought it was amazing. I love the bomber jacket look on Yang. I just love it. I never knew I needed Yang in a bomber jacket till now. Then we got Blake. One thing I want to point out. There was someone going around on Twitter. I don't know if he was just being a troll or if they were just trying to be completely serious. But someone was going around saying the yellow on Gamble Shroud was a glitch. Yeah, let that sink in. Someone was literally going around saying, "Oh, it's a glitch." Yeah. I like Weiss's because it's so, how do you say, it just screams poise. And she's always just so poised.
Yeah. I really like, though, the new outfit with her, though. Besides the heavy braid, she's kind of taking after Winter, and I actually really like that because it just shows
the belts, though.
They're turning into square characters. That's my only thing.
She means Square. She means Square Enix. She's mostly talking about Final Fantasy.
Well, and Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, Kingdom Hearts. Yeah, all the zippers.
I mean, I've got 10 zippers for Blake, so.
There must have been one heck of a sale at the belts and zipper store. I have to say, I really love Ruby's new look. She's actually wearing gloves now. Her boots are steel-toed, it looks like.
Yeah.
I love the new hairstyle. I absolutely love it. I don't know why. I think it's just because it's your stereotypical shonen anime protagonist hairstyle, but I love her new hairstyle. I'm in love with it. And then we get a little scene of Ironwood, looking at the map of Atlas, and you see Amity Arena right there, which we learn a bit more about what he's planning in Chapter 2.
Yes.
And it's not good. Now here we see the Aesops, our first team of 5. Okay, so every time I look at Clover, I'm thinking of Hunter's reaction to him. So yeah, the one that fronts Clover. I don't know if they've said the monk's name yet. The Faunus, the dog. What did you say? He's either a
He's
dog.
either like a husky or a wolf.
Yeah.
Because the tail. I mean, come on, we've got a husky. That tail screams fluff.
His name is Marrow or Morrow. They've not said it in the actual show yet, so I don't know how exactly you pronounce it. The girl who is going to give Nora a run for her money with the hammer is named Elm, and the other girl with the mohawk is named Harriet, and they call her Hare for short. So it's not been confirmed yet, but I'm guessing she's a Faunus. A lot of people have said that her mohawk kind of looks like bunny ears, but I'm not sure yet. But a lot of people are theorizing that since her name is Harriet and Hare for short, that she is some kind of rabbit faunus.
All we know is she could have a tail, but we've not seen her enough, not moving or in the right angles to tell if she's a faunus yet.
Yeah, but her and Elm are my two favorites. I love them.
But I do kind of like, what's his name with the puppy tail? Like, I don't know. There's just something about him, and just...
We'll know when we get to chapter 2. Looks like that's it. Oh
no,
you
more.
you saved the same picture. Here is where I think things are going to go bad with this group, and it's for the simple fact you can't see in this screen, but this is Watts's computer screen. So this makes me think he has got something planned for these guys, whether it be they're working for him, he's planning on them working for him, or some of them are.
Or something. Like, the way, like, when I was looking more into this...
They did this on purpose.
Yes, this was on purpose. It means he has his eyes on them, and it's either they're gonna... one or two are gonna get corrupted or something, or he's gonna try to turn some of them
This is
into
just
all
a
of them.
theory, by
Yes,
the way.
this is theories, but the other thing I can think of would be he's also gonna try and... because they're the ones that are stopping everything bad from happening. Like, something happens in Mantle, and they're obviously they were there to take them. But because they're pretty much right there with Ironwood, but if anything, if none of them end up like corrupted, then he could probably be targeting them because they're obviously they're in his way. Mm-hmm. Either way, they're in his way.
Now the picture on the left, you can't see in this, but it is actually a pretty much an electoral map. So that also has many people thinking that he is going to try and mess with the election. And it's already been theorized that he wants Jacques to win, but we don't know why yet. And of course, it shows Watts typing away on his keyboard, and we get this very anime silhouette of Tyrion, because we all know that toward the end of Volume 6, that Tyrion headed to Atlas with Watts. I think it's pretty much going to be a whole Watts working behind the scenes and Tyrion kind of being the one to take care of the dirty work.
Yeah.
Kind of the muscle.
Waiting for the day that he just, fights it. I don't like him at all.
I like Tyrion. I think he's a great villain. Every series needs a psychotic bad guy. They really do. Then we have Ironwood looking tired as he can be. But I've got to admit, I'm straight, and I think he looks good with a beard.
The beard looks better.
Yeah. It makes me wonder if he had is it just Jacques and you know who running, or is this going to affect Ironwood in any way? Well, I mean, I'm guessing it will because whoever wins is getting a seat on the council. And I guess it's been confirmed. I saw some people discussing that maybe it's Jacques trying to get another, because it was stated in Volume 4, I believe, that Jacques does have a seat on the council, but Ironwood has 2 seats.
I think he's trying to. I think it is he's trying to claim another one.
That or
he has somebody on the council.
Okay.
I think that's what it was. So now he's trying to get his own.
Yeah, okay. And the one guy that I think no one in the fandom wants to get away with anything. No one.
I don't want either of them to. I don't.
There's a theory going around that Whitley has been corrupted by his dad, and he's not really always been bad. But time will tell. I just think it's funny that you do not like Jocks at all, but he is voiced by Jason Douglas, who voices Beerus in Dragon Ball Super, and that is one of your favorite characters in Dragon Ball.
I know. I love Beerus.
So that's kind of funny.
I know.
A lot of people saw this and thought it kind of signified that Winter was evil.
I don't see it as that.
Here's the thing. A lot of it came from her eyebrows.
Yeah.
Because they're black and not white, like Weiss. But after what we saw in Chapter 2, I think that theory's dead.
Oh, yeah.
But I love this. I love Winter. I love her new look.
This shows even more, though, that I love that Weiss is she's pretty much looking up and taking after her sister, which is good.
Because her new outfit, I always said from the moment it was shown, it kind of looks like a combination of high society, but military as well, in a way.
And a mix of Winter's other outfit.
Well, that's why I said military, because Winter is military. And then we have, everybody is so scared to death that Maria's going to die.
It doesn't mean that just because we don't see her in the ending clip. I don't think we're going to see much of them.
I think Maria's taking a back seat this volume.
Yeah,
I think she won't become really big in the plot again until volume 8.
I don't think we're going to get
because she's got to get her eyes fixed.
Yes, I don't see any for us getting a character that's, to me, this important. This is RWBY's key right here to help her advance.
She is the Yoda.
She's not going to just disappear.
She's the Yoda to RWBY's Luke Skywalker.
Yes.
And they're not going to, there's even people who already think Pietro's going to die. They just really introduced us to him.
And in the original story of Pinocchio, he didn't die.
Yeah.
So, I mean...
And there's good old Penny. This is the reason why Miles and Carrie said do not watch the intro before you see the episode. Yes. I just think that's funny. Could you imagine watching the intro first? I love this part. I'm a Yang fanboy. I don't care what anyone says. She is best girl for me. It's because I think it's because I still to this day think they based her semblance off Super Saiyan from Dragon Ball. I know Iburn has the Super Saiyan line in it, but it's just the fact that she gets stronger the more damage she takes, which a Saiyan does as well. Even though her hair is already blonde, it still changes when she uses it. I don't know. It just screams Saiyan to me. She's pretty much Remnant's version of a Super Saiyan. And I love this. I thought this was one of the best parts of the intro.
I wanted the one where the fire was everywhere, but you couldn't see her face or anything. And once we get to the end of the slideshow, I'll pull up another thing, which this completely shows why I was inspired for this piece of art that I do.
And then we have Ren and Nora in their new outfits. A lot of people love the braid for Ren. I kind of liked his hair down. But, I mean, that's just a simple thing with me. I love, the sleeve, the new, protective sleeve he's got. Also, it has his father's dagger on it.
Yeah, I did notice that.
Which a lot of people loved. And then you got Nora, good old Nora.
Flying in on her hammer.
Some people... Of course, some people have noted that her outfit is the same color as the trans flag. Now, will that go somewhere? We don't know yet. We're not going to make any of such assumptions yet, though we are supposedly supposed to get some Nora backstory, so maybe Nora's originally from Atlas.
Yeah.
That would be something if she is. Here's something that caused a lot of controversy when it was first shown.
Yes.
I was shocked that they
I was quite shocked with
John's
hair too.
But after seeing it in motion, it does not look bad. It's like you noted, it makes him look a bit older.
Yes, and I mean, even somebody else had made a comment about his pants. It makes his leg look even longer, but it makes him look like older. It makes him. It shows the level of maturity that he's grown to at this point, because he has grown a lot from being,
And if
pretty much sneaking into Beacon.
he's come a long way since
Yes.
Vomit Boy.
Yes, he has
But
come so far, and
what-
he deserved something to make him look part of that.
And I mean, out of everybody, he's the one who besides Crow,
Yes.
needed an updated look. Because he got some small armor upgrades and
Of course, the pieces appear up,
yeah,
but
in Volume 4, but it still was basically the same thing.
yeah,
I have a theory. Like, I think the real reason why he cuts his hair is probably because he wants a more professional look. Besides,
he wants to.
he wants to look like a huntsman.
Yeah.
I have this theory that John might get it in his head that he wants to join the military because it's a very military-looking haircut.
It is,
but probably not. It's just a little
would.
thing I thought of. But I remember when this was shown, everybody was like, "Oh man, John looks like such a Chad." Like everybody was assuming that he was going to turn into a jerk just because of his haircut. I was like,
haircuts don't make people jerks.
"That's like people. It's still John, and he's anything but a jerk."
It's John.
Yeah.
There's no other around it.
And we also saw in this intro that his shield is going to get yet another upgrade. It looks like it's made out of a dust shield in a way, which looks really, really cool. Then here we have...
Her name's been on the posters, but I mean...
Yeah, well, a lot of people thought it was a male.
I didn't.
At first. Well, it's only when we saw the posters. You couldn't really tell in the posters. It could have been either way. But this is a female. And I kind of think it's funny that there was a certain individual who is a troll, and he thought this character was a male, and he was wanting to ship this character with Yang because he doesn't approve of Bumblebee, and it turns out this is a female character. Her name's Robin Hill. Yes.
Robin Hood.
Yeah, she's pretty much Robin Hood, and we'll get to something in our Chapter 2 Chapter 2 overview that further confirms that, yes, she is indeed Robin Hood. It's a nice little touch they did that I actually really liked. Now, this one has a bit of people wondering what's going on. Some originally thought that this
they were fighting?
Yeah, they were legit fighting, but if you look real close, they're both smiling
at each other. Slow it down, he's pretty much sparring with him.
The way things go in Chapter 2, they're sparring. They're training.
Yes, it's what it is. He wants to see what... To me, it looks like, and it's probably what it is, he wants to see what Oscar knows. Mm-hmm. What Oscar has learned. Because he obviously knows that Oz is there.
Yeah, which we'll get to in the Chapter 2 overview.
I mean, yeah, and same thing Oscar has come a long way just from being there a short time.
This is a cool scene. This is obviously in the dust mines. I can't wait to see the dust mines. I really can't. I want to see that it's supposed to be this awful place. I can't wait to see it. And they're fighting like I forgot what kind of Grim they were called. It's been said what they're actually called. They're kind of like centipede Grim in a way. So this is some great, pretty much checkmate action going on here. I've always loved Weiss skating on her glyphs. I just think it's a little cool touch. Gosh, I really want to see these new outfits. I really do. Like, I want to see Blake cut her hair so bad. Now, here, so, many theories here. Does Crow know Robin? Are they going to become partners in crime, something like that? And yes, of course, there's people who are shipping that as well. My favorite ship so far for Robin, though, is her and Winter, because people are already saying that since Robin is Robin Hood, she needs a maid Marian. And people have already said, and it's so funny. I already ship it, even though I have no idea if her and Winter are even going to interact.
Yeah.
But
to me, this scene, it seemed, because at first it was just Robin and Tyrion, but then Crow jumped in and he started fighting with Robin. So it makes me think that he does know her.
Or he's
a lone huntsman. So
or he's wanting his rematch against Tyrion, which I'm excited. I'm excited to see. I want to see Crow go against Tyrion again, and also we're not going to forget to mention it, this was the shot that confirmed, yes, Crow is getting a new outfit as well.
Finally.
And this very anime shot, like, everybody was already comparing this to an end shot from My Hero Academia, and it actually does match. It's really, I just love it. A lot of people are wondering, is Crow standing by himself because he starts drifting away from the others because of Ironwood, maybe? Because it's all, thanks to the trailer and all that, we kind of know that Team RWBY is going to be working under Ironwood in a way. So I'm kind of curious to see the tensions that are going to.
Yeah, or he's stepping back a little bit to let the others, because both teams have, obviously gotten so much stronger. So
it's kind of funny that obviously Robin is going to play a pretty big part in this, but she's not in the ending shot.
Yeah, I noticed that because there's other people said, well, Maria and Pietro aren't in the ending, but neither is Robin.
Yeah.
So
which Maria and Pietro, they're not fighters. They're not hunch. There's not. I mean, technically,
Maria was.
Yeah, she was, but she isn't anymore. So I mean, of course, they're not going to be in this very actiony picture. But I love this. Like it's like RWBY is officially now an anime.
Yes. That's it.
Yep. Well, that was chapter 1. So we hope you guys enjoyed it. There's not really much else we can say. Like I said, this was a little bit late, but we're just learning this stuff. Like we said, we just started. This will be our really first big video on YouTube. So just be patient. Like I said, we're still learning. We're still learning the stuff and all that. And hopefully, with time, we'll get better at it. And what are you looking up?
The one piece that relates to that little shot of Yang.
I'm gonna give you a drink of water.
Which is really big. Sorry, we're still learning this program. But in relation to the intro to RWBY when her hair goes on fire, well, also with her song, this just fits. Like, this is what her semblance is what completely inspired that, and that's actually been noticed by Casey too. So
Yeah, a bit of your art's gotten recognized.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's really all we've got left to talk about in chapter 1 and the intro, unless you can think of anything.
Nope.
Alrighty. Well, I guess that'll be all for this one. Like I said, this one will go straight onto YouTube. The chapter 2 overview will be on Patreon first, and then I don't know really when exactly we plan. Probably Saturday after we watch chapter 3 and after our chapter 2 reaction becomes available on YouTube to watch, we'll drop this. We'll drop chapter 2's overview after that. So, like I said, once again, thank you for the people who have already subscribed. Like I said, be patient with us. We're learning all this. This is new to us. But just make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe, click that notification bell. Support us on Patreon if you can, and we will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.